Morning everyone. In this lecture we are going to discuss about time domain specifications. Next topic is the time domain. Time domain specifications. Time domain specifications. That means what are the different whenever we are switching on the fan. What is meant by time domain specifications? What is the total response of the system we are going to get? Time domain specification is nothing but whenever we are switching on a fan, then it will take some time to get its normal speed, constant speed. Whatever that initial stage, that means when it is fluctuating, after that it will becomes into a constant speed. That means it is combination of two times. That means the total time response of the system, total time response of the system is total time response of the system is transient time and steady state time, Ts and Ts. Or we can write a total time. Total time is equal to transient and steady state. Here I am going to find out the time domain specifications. Whenever it will become into a normal state, there is no problem. But whenever how it will becomes to a normal state, that is the problem. How much time it will take to come to a normal state, that is important. Now here it will be going to a fluctuating and then it will reach its final state. Up to this time we call it as a transient time, and up to this time we call it as a steady state time. Right? In this transient time also we are having a different time domain specifications. Time domain specifications is nothing but initially to start how much time it will take, what is the maximum value of that particular system, maximum time, and what is the final value. For example, if I am taking a step input, that is what is the final value here? 1. That final value, to reach that final value, how much that time it will be takes. That we are going to discuss now. Time domain specifications. Here I am going to draw an graph. Now this is output 1, new step input. This must be, my intention is that our response will be going to then reach to input. That is my final value, steady state value. When I am switching on here, it will be going to be like this, and it will be going to be like this, and some fluctuating will be occurred, and finally it will be reached its final steady state value. This is a final steady state value. Up to this time, what we are having different domains. Here first I am going to represent here. This is the graph what we are going to discuss now. Here this is 0. Now we are having, whenever the system will be like this, what will be happen? It will take some, initially it will take some time to reach 50% of its final value, or 90% of its final value, or 100% of its final value. It will take some time. In this time domain specification, we are going to define, first one is delay time. Delay time. Second one is rise time. Rise time. And third one is we are having a peak time. Peak time. Fourth one we are having settling time. Settling time. And next we are having a percentage peak overshoot. Peak overshoot. Combining these 5 time domain analysis, we call it as that is the time domain specification. From this graph only, we can say that what is a delay time, what is a rise time, what is a peak time, what is a settling time, or what is meant by percentage peak overshoot. In the graph, in this graph, in this graph, in this graph, we are having a 0 to 50%. This is say here. Whenever I switch on, then automatically what will happen? It will be going like this. The time taken to reach 0 to 50% of its final value, we call it as a delay time. Delay time is nothing but the time required to take 0 to 50% of final value. What is the final value? 100%. What is the 100% is? 1. The time taken to reach 0 to 50% of its final value, we call it as a delay time. Similarly, what is meant by a rise time? Rise time is nothing but the time taken to reach 0 to 90%. Here, see, 0 to 90% of its final value, we call it as a rise time. The time taken to reach 0 to 90% of its final value, we call it as a rise time. In some cases, we consider it as 0 to 100% also. That means if the system will be varies, over damped or undamped or critically damped, or 10 to 80% also. 10 to 80% of its final value, we can call it as a rise time. The rise time, it will be going to be on a varies with respect to the system. If it is an underdamped, overdamped, or undamped system, it will be going to vary. But basically, we are going to define the rise time is the time required to reach 0 to 90% of its final value. We call it as a rise time. The next one, peak time. That means that the time taken to reach maximum peak value, maximum value. That means that behind that unit step signal, that means that behind 100%, in some cases it will reaches its high speed. That time we call it as a peak time. The time taken to reach its maximum value, we call it as a peak value. The time taken to reach maximum value. Maximum value. And next, settling time. Settling time is nothing but whenever it will be reaches to the steady state, constant speed. That means the time taken to reach its final value. That means to reach its steady state. The time taken to reach the settle down the system. The time taken to reach its steady state or settle down the system, we call it as a settling time. That means a delay time we are going to represent with the TD, rise time TR, peak time TP, settling time TS. We are going to represent like that. TR, TD, and TS, settling time TS. And maximum percentage peak overshoot is nothing but the maximum, it is the ratio of maximum peak time minus the steady state response divided by steady state response of the system. C of TP, that means that is a maximum peak time, C of TP minus C of infinity. C of infinity means as the time increasing, that means that T tends to infinity, it will be reaches to steady state. At any particular time, it must be, even though if you are having a more transient period also, after some time it will going to be in a steady state only. That is important. Of After some time, it will get at where it is equal to 1 at infinity. At infinity, C of infinity, what is that? It will reaches to its maximum value 1. As the time t tends to infinity, it will be reaches to its maximum value or steady state value. Why? Because initially when we switch on that fan or motor, initially it will be running with an fluctuating. After some time, it will be reaches its a constant speed. Like that only, that means as t tends to infinity, it reaches to unity 1. This is the percentage peak overshoot. C of T minus C of infinity by C of infinity, where C of infinity will becomes equal to 1. C of T is nothing but maximum peak value. Maximum peak value. Right. Here from this, how we are going to derive this delay time, rise time, peak time. This is the normal derivations, but we need to find out for a given system how we are going to find the delay time, rise time, and peak time. How we are going to find out delay time and how we are going to find the rise time, we are going to discuss now. For that purpose, already we derived a time response of a particular system. What is a time response of a second order system? For underdamped system, C of t is equal to how much? Now first we will discuss with a derivation of rise time. After that we will go with peak time. First derivation of rise time. Derivation of derivation of rise time. Derivation of rise time. That is C of, we know that C of t is equal to 1 minus e power minus zeta omega n t by square root of 1 minus zeta square sine of omega dt plus theta. From where we got this thing? Already we derived in the last lecture, we derived that thing. Right. Now, what is the rise time? C of t. That means a rise time derivation. What is the rise time? The time taken to reach 0 to 100% of its final value or 0 to 90% of its final value. That means what is the rise time value at t equal to tr? At t equal to tr, C of t value how much? C of t equal to 1. The time taken to reach its 0 to 100% of its final value. What is the 100% of final value is 1. So I am going to substitute now. That is 1 is equal to 1 minus e power minus zeta omega n t by square root of 1 minus zeta square sine of omega d. T means tr plus theta. Now how much it will be going to get? 0 e power minus zeta omega m t by square root of 1 minus zeta square sine of omega d tr plus theta. From this we can write it as sine of omega d tr plus theta equal to 0. Next, omega d tr plus theta equal to pi. Why? Because sine inverse of 0 is pi. After that, tr is equal to pi minus theta by omega d. Pi minus theta by omega d. Tr rise time whenever we are going to get pi minus theta by omega d. What is the theta value? We know that sin theta equal to zeta and cos theta equal to square root of 1 minus zeta square. We know that thing. From that, what is the tan theta value? Tan theta equal to sin theta by cos theta. That means zeta by square root of 1 minus zeta square. Now theta equal to tan inverse of zeta by square root of 1 minus zeta square. Zeta means damping ratio. If you know the theta value, theta equal to tan inverse of sin theta, cos theta is different to theta. Here this is sin theta, this is cos theta. From that already we derived this thing, right? sin theta by cos theta, which is equal to 1 minus zeta square by zeta. Theta equal to tan inverse of square root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. This is rise time we are going to get. Simple. I am going to consider the rise time is nothing but 0 to 100% of its final value. That means I am equating the total response of a second order system to 1. From that it will be going to be an equated to 0. From that we are going to get sin of omega d tr plus theta equal to 0. From that omega t tr plus theta equal to 5. From that we are going to get rise time Tr is equal to pi minus theta by omega d, where theta equal to tan inverse of square root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. Zeta is nothing but a damping ratio, and omega d is nothing but our damping frequency. That is an omega d equal to, we can write omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. This is for rise time. Similarly, derivation for peak time. Next one is derivation of peak time. Derivation of peak time. You know that again, C of t equal to 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square into sine of omega d t plus theta. This is the basic equation we know that. When we are going to that maximum, this is a peak time. Peak time is nothing but maximum time. When we are going to get a maximum value, according to that maxima and minima condition, dc of t, dc of t by dt must be equal to 0. That means the differentiation of this particular equation must be equal to 0. Then we are going to get an peak time. That is, now I am going to differentiate that equation. dc of t by dt equal to this is an uv formula, that is an uv formula, that is uh, VDU. VDU means e power minus zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square into minus zeta omega n, minus zeta omega n sin omega dt plus theta udv. That means, sorry, VDU minus udv, minus u means again what we are having. This is all are minus again. Minus VDU plus UDV uh, plus now what we are going to get, again this term will be a constant, minus e power minus zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square constant, and sin omega dt is cos omega dt plus theta, and what is that cos omega t means into omega d we are going to get omega d. Now we need to simplify that thing. Again we need to simplify that thing. We need to simplify this thing. Minus into minus plus, we are going to get dc of t by dt equal to, we are going to get e power minus zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square into zeta omega n sin of omega d plus theta. After that, we can write this is minus e power minus zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square cos of omega d plus theta into omega d. Now we need to take common. That is one term I am going to take. dc of t by dt equal to, if I am taking out e power minus zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square, if I take it out common, then what we are having? Zeta omega n sin of omega dt plus theta minus cos of omega d t plus theta into omega d we are having. Okay. After this, we can write zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square into zeta omega n sin omega d theta minus cos of omega dt plus theta into omega d means omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. 1 minus zeta square. Now again, if I am taking from omega n into e power minus zeta omega nt by square root of 1 minus zeta square, here omega n we taken common. Zeta means cos theta. That means we can write sin of omega d theta into cos theta minus cos of omega d theta plus theta. This value is sin theta. Now what is this value again? Sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. That means we can write it as omega n into omega n by t by square root of 1 minus zeta square. This is in the form of sin a sin a sin sin a minus sin b. B value is theta. Now theta theta will be going to then cancel. Finally, we are going to get dc of t by dt equal to, we are going to get omega n into e power minus zeta omega n by square root of 1 minus zeta square into sin of omega dt omega dt. Here we are going to finding a peak time. So t equal to tt. This value will become 0 and omega n omega n into we can write what is the name omega d value. Omega d equal to omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square omega n into, that means 1 minute. You keep like that only, no problem. Now at t equal to tp, what will happen? Now this value completely will becomes equal to 0 and it will be going that side. Now what we are having? Sin omega d tp. Right. Now what is the omega d tp value? Sin inverse of 0. Sin inverse of 0 is pi. That means Tp is equal to pi by omega d. Right. This is the derivation of peak time. Just I am considering what is the condition we apply here, that is important. In the last rise time, we are going to consider C of t equal to 1. In this case, we are going to apply that difference equation. Why? Because we are going for an peak value. dc of t by dt value will be equal to an 0. Whenever it will be equal to 0, then only we will get a maximum value. That is a maxima and minima condition in mathematics. Right. Next one is derivation of percentage peak overshoot. Derivation of percentage peak overshoot. Percentage peak overshoot, that means we know that percentage of peak overshoot is equal to C of Tp minus C of infinity by C of infinity. We know that C of infinity equal to 1. Now the thing is that we need to find out C of Tp value. How we are going to find out the C of Tp value is important. Now I am going to write once again what is the C of t value. C of t equal to 1 minus e power minus zeta omega n t plus tp square root of 1 minus zeta square into sine of omega d tp plus theta. Why? Because I am going to find with respect to tp. So, in the place of Tp, again 1 minus e power minus zeta omega n into Tp means pi by omega d whole divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into sine of omega d. Tp means pi by omega d plus theta. Now, what we are having here 1 minus e power omega n, that means an e power minus zeta pi by square root of 1 minus zeta square. Why? Because omega d is omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. Omega n will be going to be cancel, and then we are having here like this 1 minus zeta square. Here also sine of pi plus theta. Right? This is our C of Tp value we are going to finding. Here, after getting the C of Tp value, how much we are going to get? Here's what is the sine of pi by t value means? Sine of pi plus theta is minus sine theta. So, here we are getting C of Tp equal to 1 plus minus into minus plus it will becomes e power minus zeta into pi by square root of 1 minus zeta square whole divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square. What is sine pi plus theta means? Sine theta minus sine theta. Sine theta. Again we can write 1 plus e power minus zeta pi by square root of 1 minus zeta square whole divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square. What is the sine theta value? Cos theta is zeta, sin theta value is square root of 1 minus zeta square. Now again these two values will be going to be cancelled. Now C of Tp value how much we are going to get? 1 plus e power minus zeta pi by square root of 1 minus zeta square. 1 minus zeta square. Now what is that percentage peak overshoot here? C of Tp minus C of infinity. That is an percentage peak overshoot is equal to C of Tp minus C of infinity by C of infinity. C of infinity value will be equal to C of infinity always will be equal to 1. Why? Because at the time t tends to 1, then only we are going to get C of infinity will becomes equal to 1. Now, percentage peak overshoot is equal to 1 plus e power minus zeta pi by square root of 1 minus zeta square minus 1 by 1. That means it will be going to be a cancel. That means percentage peak overshoot equal to e power minus zeta pi by square root of 1 minus zeta square into 100. This is your percentage peak overshoot. Percentage peak overshoot, how much we are going to get? E power minus zeta pi by square root of 1 minus zeta square into 100. That is a percentage peak overshoot. Percentage peak overshoot. And next one is the settling time. We are going to take direct formulas for settling and delay time. Settling time. What is the settling time? We are in settling time Ts. We are going to represent the settling time Ts is equal to 4 by 4 by zeta omega n, and Ts is equal to 3 by zeta omega n. This is for 2% tolerance, 2% error. This is for 5% error. Wherever we are going to consider here, whenever you are going to be an it will be like that. My value is like this. This is an 2%. If I am taking here, that is an 5% error. Like this. Next one is delay time. The formula for delay time is that the formula for delay time TD is equal to 1 plus 0.7 zeta 7 zeta divided by omega. These are the formulas. Only there is no need to derive the equations. By using these formulas only, we are going to find out the. We are going to find that what is the settling time, what is the delay time, what is that rise time, peak time, and we are going to calculate from the given transfer function. They will give the transfer function. Once if we given that the second order transfer function, from that second order transfer function, we can find what is omega n value, what is zeta value. Once if you know the omega n and zeta values, from the values if you are substituting in these equations, then we are going to find that delay time, rise time, peak time, settling time, maximum power, peak overshoot, anything we can find. Right, thank you.